Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christus, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we gotta give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. Who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel? Whether they can accept it or not. In a sincere salutation to all the option, pushing the truth and believing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, we're going to hopefully elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another daily edification, Lord's willing. This be edifying. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for monetary gain. I do not own the copyright to the videos. This is for educational purposes only. Lord's willing. This be edifying. And as I played this, welcome back. These are different clips of things that happen in the world according to the standards of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. The love of many shall wax cold. Lord willing, this be edifying.
Caught on camera firing shots at a man in the parking lot of a Detroit gas station. Waking up behind bars this morning. She was arrested late last night, and our Jennifer Ann Wilson joins us now live from the west side with dramatic video of this incident. Jen.
Oh, we sure do. Now, Malcolm, this is an incident that could have happened anywhere on a dark sidewalk like the one I'm walking on now, but it didn't. It happened at a green light gas station, and that's why police say they were able to identify this woman and catch her so quickly. Now, take a look at this video that we were able to get a hold of. You can see the woman that police say opened fire at a gas station at 4:30 in the morning. This was at Fenkel and Greenfield yesterday at 4:30 in the morning. Now, the woman is one of four people who were in a blue Dodge Charger. The other vehicle, a green Pontiac Grand Prix. Now, police say a heated argument broke out between the people in both cars, but that woman, police say, grabbed a handgun and within a matter of seconds fired several shots at the driver of the Pontiac, who then, get this, runs over one of the men from the other car. This ugly, out-of-control scene all captured with high-resolution cameras, all part of this new Project Greenlight program. Now, the incident ends with both drivers speeding off after a man wrestles the gun away. But shortly after, all occupants in the Grand Prix returned to the scene, surrendered the weapon. The driver who was shot, taken to the hospital with unknown injuries. No word on the other man who was hit and run over. Now, the suspect, police say, was 5'2", and again, she is now in custody. This all happened within 24 hours of the incident, and police are crediting this new Project Greenlight for being able to identify and capture her so quickly. Reporting live on Detroit's West Side, I'm Jennifer Ann Wilson, 7 Action News. Thank you. It happened at the home behind me. Police tell us all of the victims and the suspect live here. It's so horrific and heartbreaking. Police say they've never dealt with a case like this before.
They were great kids. If anyone had known them, they would have known that. If anyone had known them, they would have loved them.
A senseless crime inside this Muskogee home early Tuesday morning.
It's hard right now.
Raven Anderson talking to News 4 over the phone from a Tulsa hospital where her sister Brittany is battling critical gunshot wounds.
The doctor said that she has bleeding on her brain. They're just trying to get the swelling and everything to go down.
Brittany's 5 children, ages 2 to 9, killed. A 7th victim, a man, also dead.
It never is easy. to talk about these kind of stories. It's difficult. We're concerned about our officers.
Police say officers responded to the home just after 1:30, after a call to 911.
It was a call stating that there had been people shot inside the residence.
When they arrived, this man, Jaron Dijon Pridgen, was leaving the house with a gun in hand. He led officers on a short chase on foot before he was taken into custody.
All of the people involved did live in that home when the shooting took place.
While police can't confirm Pridgen's exact relation to the victims at this time, Raven tells News 4 he's the father of some of the children.
It's heartbreaking. I'm shocked, and you can't comprehend what's going on. You just can't.
A dark day for the Muskogee community, and for the family of these young lives taken too soon. They're mourning while watching Brittany fight for her life.
We're trying to get through it. We're trying to be here for her, be strong for her.
In Muskogee, Jessica Bruno, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right.
Is accused of murdering his co-worker. It happened earlier this week on the east side. Fox 59's Jesse Wells spoke with family and friends of the victim who are still looking for answers even after an arrest.
The victim had only recently started working at this business behind me before being killed. His friends and family are relieved an arrest has been made, but they still don't understand why the killing took place. Inside this insulation factory Wednesday night, a 42-year-old employee, Justin Laster, was gunned down on the job.
We hurt. We are very hurt because we know Justin, he's not a violent person.
As a young man, Laster served in the Marines. More recently, he worked for Indigo before being hired at PSC Industries, working hard trying to raise 3 young boys.
You know, he was at work when this happened, and he was at work trying to provide, making ends meet for his sons.
He raised his kids. He did the best he could, and here his life is cut down so short, so fast, with so little reasoning.
Danelle Howard is the pastor at this church on Hovey, where Laster served as a minister. After being arrested, the accused killer, Jacob Spivey Martin, allegedly told police he shot Laster simply because he got bad vibes from him.
It's just senseless. You know, we just want to know, why. We just want to get some answers.
According to court records, several employees claim the suspect had mental issues. One witness told police Jacob wasn't all there and would often mumble, bust out laughing for no reason.
And that's spiritual. Because the man name is Jacob, man. 2/3, man. Which, I mean, the Lord could bring him up out of that. But at this point, a two-third Jake, man.
And would speak about demons. The IMPD detective noted, I asked if Spivey feels bad for taking Justin's life, and he stated, I want to.
That's a mental health issue. We're going to have to face those issues head on if we're going to really adequately deal with the violence inside of this city.
The suspect will be held without bond until formal murder charges are filed. That decision is ultimately up to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Jeff.
A 17-year-old is now formally charged with murder in the deaths of 6 family members.
Prosecutors have also released chilling details of what they believe Raymond Childs III did inside that Adams Street home over the weekend. My teammate's Richard Essex has our story.
The details of the probable cause are not for the faint at heart. Raymond Childs III used 2 guns, a 9mm handgun and an AK-47 style rifle to kill most of his family. Here's the picture of 17-year-old Raymond Childs III taken to the Marion County Jail this morning. He's accused of shooting and killing most of his family Sunday morning at their house on Adams Street. Childs has been charged with 6 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of carrying a handgun without a permit. The shooting started after he left the house without permission.
I think the argument initially started over a conversation about somebody going out or being outside the residence and spending, kind of sneaking out of the house. I think that was what initiated the dispute inside the home. Where it went from there, I think that's what we're trying to figure out.
According to court records, Childs had been at his girlfriend's house when his father called and told him to get home. When he got back to the house on Adams Street, his father told him he'd be in trouble later. Seconds later, gunshots were fired. Childs had gone into his older brother's bedroom and shot Kiera Hawkins and Elijah Childs in the head with a 9mm handgun. Kiera Hawkins was pregnant. The baby was deceased when it was delivered by cesarean section at the hospital. He then shot 13-year-old Rita Childs in the chest with an AK-47 type rifle. Police also found several rounds from the very same AK-47 near the body of his father and stepmother. They were shot several times in the torso. During the shooting, his 15-year-old younger brother, Xavier Childs, had been downstairs in a laundry room hiding. When the shooting stopped, he took off running. Raymond Childs followed Xavier and shot him twice with an AK-47, once in the arm and once in the leg. He told investigators, "He tried to shoot me in the head, but missed, I guess." Xavier Childs was found on the front porch of a home a couple blocks away. He was rushed to Riley Hospital in critical condition, but was able to tell police who shot him before being taken into surgery. Raymond Childs III did go back to the house on Adams Street to gather up some clothes, and then he took his father's car and went back to his girlfriend's house. He did return to the house on Adams Street Sunday afternoon. He was later found at a relative's house and arrested.
Mr. Childs is 17 years of age, and because he is 17 years of age, we are not permitted under Indiana law to seek the death penalty. We are not in a position to seek the death penalty due to the accused's age.
Raymond Childs did appear virtually in front of a judge today. He answered all the judge's questions respectfully, but kept his head down for most of the hearing. The judge did set a tentative trial date for April. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Told him to get a job so he could take care of himself. Her sons were... Well, the mother of a 22-year-old man told him to get a job so he could take care of himself. Her son's response? He shot her dead. That's according to police and the victim's brother. News 4's Gabi Acevedo is live outside the scene in East Harlem now, and he talked to distraught family members about this. Gabi.
Adam, your description, although tragic, is precise. Police say that 22-year-old Musa Camara shot his own mother in the head. Now, family members told us that the mother and her son had recently been arguing, as you mentioned, Adam, over him getting a job. The victim's brother, the uncle, wants no mercy for his nephew. Family and friends huddled in grief at Lehman Village houses. Fatoumata Denson was a mother of 8. Police say one of her children, Musa Camara, shot and killed her around 9 this morning. The uncle wants justice.
I want him to go the rest of his life in prison.
Danson arrived in New York City more than 25 years ago.
Lovely sister. She don't have no... She kind to the entire family. Let's say kind to everybody. She always smile and laugh.
Today, she was found dead in her 15th floor apartment. According to witnesses, Musa Camara shot her in the head and ran away. Citizen app video shows the moment police arrested him on 108th Street and Madison Avenue.
He got arrested with the weapon. I don't know the size of what kind of weapon it is, but he got arrested with the weapon.
Family members say Fatoumata had recently pressed her son to find a job, and on several occasions things got heated. A grieving brother, now lamenting the untimely death of his little sister, says he will never forgive his troubled nephew.
Come and look for better life, and she got killed by her own son, which is Musa Camara, my nephew. I want him to go life in prison. No mercy for him.
Police say that Camara was taken to a hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. We're still awaiting word on charges. Reporting live from East Harlem, Gabi Acevedo, News 4 New York.
A woman robbed by 3 teenagers in Fulton County tells 11 Alive she could not believe how young her assailants were.
Very young there, and all 3 were finally sentenced this week. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has more.
Felicia Evans says she was victimized in this neighborhood in a scheme that was both elaborate and, she says, so low stakes that it would have been laughable, except for the robbery at gunpoint.
It was just a way of making a little more income.
Evans says she'd been delivering pizzas for a local franchise when a call came in July 2017 with an order for an address on Buckhurst Trail. She drove up,
You know, they tell you to trust your instincts.
And saw that the home appeared to be unoccupied.
And that day I didn't.
Yet she says she saw two boys run outside who claimed the pizza delivery.
And once he went inside, that's when the person that was outside came up behind me with the gun and started demanding my possessions.
Evans says she had a phone, a few dollars cash, and a pizza. The thieves took all three. They drove off in her Ford Fusion, then apparently stopped to eat the pizza. Police found them inside her red stolen car within minutes.
The one that I really noticed was the one holding the gun. He definitely looked very young.
Then police found this video, where one of the teens bragged about what they'd done.
When I did him like that, he was like, man, this y'all, you can have the piece. I said, that, I want the money in your car.
DeQuandre Weaver was 14 when this video was shot. This week, a judge sentenced Weaver to serve 20 years in prison for a list of felonies. Investigators said he and a teenage accomplice robbed and shot another pizza delivery driver the day before they robbed Evans.
I was thinking this child was so innocent when he already shot and tried to kill somebody else the day before. And
nobody is innocent, thus saith the Lord.
And apparently happy about it.
Evans says after she was robbed here in South Fulton County in 2017, she never delivered a pizza again.
Happening right now, the trial of a 15-year-old boy charged with murder. Today, his family members tried to pin the crime on someone else.
Within the past 2
Tony
hours,
Thomas is live
a Gwinnett County
in Gwinnett
judge
County,
sentenced
where the defendant's loved ones testified. Tony?
Craig, all the witnesses today were called by the prosecution, and whether they knew it or not, the jurors were actually hearing the crux of the defense case as well. Those family members and close friends of defendant Reginald Lofton all took the stand and admitted they were giving new details they said they'd never told anyone before.
Are you making this up to try to help your brother?
No. Prosecutors say just after Papa John's delivery driver Shane Varnador was murdered, Malik Buckley told investigators his younger brother, 14-year-old Reginald Lofton, and friend Jermaine Young woke him up, giving details of the crime. But on Wednesday, Buckley told jurors only Young talked to him.
Second, did he tell you that during the lick, the pizza man flinched on him and the gun went off and he shot him?
Yes. Prosecutors admit they aren't sure who actually shot and killed Varnador, but they believe both the now 15-year-old Lofton and 21-year-old Young committed the planned robbery together.
And I said, Reginald, did you hear that gunshot? He said, no, I had my headphones on.
Jurors also got their first glance at these pictures of the defendant holding a gun prosecutors believe might have been the murder weapon.
They getting younger,
One
man.
picture was taken just 6 hours before the killing. Earlier, a crime scene investigator described her unusual discovery in the family's pantry.
They getting younger, man.
Yes, I did. A gun. He adamantly denied that he was the person that had done that. Correct. He denied it, yes.
The 15-year-old here is being tried as an adult. Jermaine Young is also charged in this murder case, but he's not on trial right now this week. Now, closing arguments could begin in this case as early as tomorrow afternoon.
They getting younger, man.
A 15-year-old convicted of murder. Channel 2's Tony Thomas.
Salakia.
Elements in the murder of a pizza delivery driver within the past 2 hours. A Gwinnett County judge sentenced the 15-year-old convicted of murder. Channel 2's Tony Thomas was in the...
Gave him life, man.
25 years old, that's a baby. So it was emotional finding out that someone was there and someone had actually perished in that vehicle.
A family is searching for answers tonight after their loved one was found dead at a truck stop in New Orleans. Good evening. The 25-year-old woman was found unresponsive at the Mardi Gras truck stop Wednesday. She was last seen more than a week ago.
Chris Jackman joins us live at the truck stop on Elysian Fields, where workers were left shaken by the gruesome discovery. Chris?
They absolutely were. The woman we're speaking about is 25-year-old Carmisha Thomas. She's from Clarksdale, Mississippi. The workers here at this truck stop tell us that they are just as baffled and surprised about this as everyone else. Meanwhile, the family is reaching out to the public to try to find any answers into what could have possibly happened to their loved one.
I just want to know what happened to my baby.
Heartbroken and confused is the only way Joyce Thomas can describe her emotions after learning about the death of her daughter, 25-year-old Carmisha Thomas. Thomas, who's from Clarksdale, Mississippi, spoke with our CBS affiliates, WREG. Thomas says the last time they heard from Carmisha was Sunday, September 9th, at the Mardi Gras truck stop on Elysian Fields. She says her daughter is a truck driver and worked for KLLM Transport Services for almost a year. Workers at the truck stop tell Eyewitness News they saw Thomas inside the store last Sunday. She apparently used the phone and watched the football game.
She called my daughter's phone to let her know that someone had pickpocketed her.
Thomas says Carmisha then went out and says a Lyft or Uber driver brought her back. That's the last time Carmisha was seen or heard from.
This is the glass from the fire department breaking the window out.
The store manager, who didn't want to be identified, says she received a call from a dispatcher asking them to conduct a welfare check. They discovered the doors were locked.
So when I came out, we banged on the window, didn't get an answer, but we saw a lot of flies.
Police and firefighters broke the windows to the truck and found Carmisha Thomas dead inside.
They said she was covered in blood.
Thomas says they immediately traveled down from the Mississippi Delta to New Orleans, but returned home with very little answers. Thomas says authorities won't allow her to see her daughter's body. Thomas also wants to know why did it take 3 days for the truck stop to discover her missing daughter, knowing that drivers pay daily for parking spots.
How could you let someone sit on your parking lot for 3 days and you notice they haven't came paid?
I don't have the answers that I would like to have for her because, I don't know what happened to her.
The Orleans Parish Coroner's Office says Thomas's cause and manner of death remains under investigation.
I really think that someone did something to her. I don't know whether she'd been poisoned. I don't really know.
Judgment, man. The Lord ain't playing no games, man.
13-year-old Nyla Lightfoot died Tuesday at her Fort Worth apartment, and now a 13-year-old female friend is charged with her murder.
The suspect and both girls' families were in
getting
jail
younger,
court
man.
today. Fox 4's Brandon Todd is live tonight in Fort Worth with the story.
13-year-old, man.
Heather, Steve, this was a detention hearing basically to decide whether or not that 13-year-old girl would go home with her parents. Well, the judge said no, so she will stay here at the juvenile detention facility. There were other juveniles at this hearing, but she was the only one in handcuffs.
My baby was the sweetest little girl here.
Antoinette Carter spoke publicly for the first time about her 14-year-old daughter, Nyla Lightfoot, who was stabbed to death Tuesday during a fight with a 13-year-old friend.
She made straight A's. She was friends with everybody. She didn't need this.
Just outside the view of our camera, the 13-year-old girl charged with the murder appeared before a juvenile judge during a detention hearing. Carter says the 13-year-old and her daughter were on and off friends, but when the 13-year-old wanted to spend the night with Lightfoot, Carter said no. The suspect demanded Lightfoot come over and get clothes she'd left at her apartment, and that's when the two got into a fight.
She whooped you. You should have just accepted it. But now you had to go back in the house and get a knife to come back and stab and kill my baby. Now I'm daughterless.
She bugged out with that blonde hair, man. Hey, Jake don't understand. It's a curse to have blonde hair, man. You bugged out.
My heart feel like it's just been ripped out and just stomped on.
The parents of the 13-year-old were at the detention hearing.
Hey, that's how Yahweh Shema Shah felt, man, when we went a horn after other gods, man. And refused to return. That's how the Lord feel. She feel like her heart is stepped on and stomped out. Hey, that's how the Lord feel, man. He got his hand stretched out all the day long, but Jake refused to return, man.
But declined to comment. Juvenile court attorney Trent Lofton, who is not associated with this case but has experience on how such cases are handled, says the 13-year-old can't be tried as an adult.
Texas law, you have to be at least the age of 14 years old where they can even consider certification or transferring you to an adult court. The Tarrant County District Attorney's Office has been historically aggressive when it comes to prosecuting individuals in a juvenile matter, especially in the case where a homicide or a murder is involved.
The grandfather of Nyla Lightfoot hopes prosecutors seek the maximum penalty a juvenile can face.
We just want justice. Everybody need prayer. That's all I have to say.
Hey, the Lord say, pray not for these people, man. The mama and the father bugged out, man.
Pray for everybody. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. Just want justice to be served.
Hey, the Lord, the Lord bringing judgment, man. It's Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah that's bringing judgment, man. I don't wish bad on nobody. Hey, what the Lord do? The Lord do.
A woman in Clayton County was sentenced today to 125 years in jail for killing her baby's father.
125 years, man.
Jennifer Bellamy joins us with more. Jennifer, it was a trial with a lot of emotion, some shocking testimony, pitting family member against each other.
Some Jakes barely lived to be 40, 30, 25. And they gave her 125 years, man.
Has Cheryl. Earlier this month, Sierra Harp's own mother took the stand to urge the judge to give her the maximum sentence and also to sterilize her. The mother upset that the murder took place in front of the couple's young daughter. Her testimony, a stark contrast to the people who took the stand today to speak in Harp's defense. Now, this story goes back to December of 2017 when Harp shot her baby's father, Raheem Grant, 7 times at an apartment in Riverdale. Grant captured the murder on his own cell phone, and you could hear him begging Harp to let him hold his baby just one more time before he dies. Harp said no. In court today, Harp's uncle took the stand to ask the judge for leniency. He said Sierra Harp was sexually abused as a child, and that impacted her for the rest of her life.
It's written somewhere to train up a child in the way that he should go. And as he gets older, he would never depart from it. That's not what happened here in this childhood.
Other friends of Harp took the stand to testify that she was a good mother, but Harp's own mother said the family tried to help her many times, yet she continued to make bad choices.
You see that? You see that? That's what we be talking about, man. That's what we be talking about. I'm looking for this. This is another clip.
Liz Arts talked exclusively to a witness who says that she cannot stop thinking about what she saw.
Police say that when they looked at that surveillance video, they could see witnesses everywhere, but they say only a few people have come forward. They told me that they need those people to step up and tell them what they saw.
And I hear some shots, and I say, oh my God, what's going on?
This is one of the few witnesses who have come forward and told police what she saw off Wesley Club Drive last Wednesday.
I see one guy come running, but I still hear the shooting. And I see another guy with a big gun, still, shot him,
police say, with an AK-47. 22-year-old Jordan Morris was chased and then gunned down in the parking lot of the Super Inn Motel.
He just do like this and he lay down in the grass. And I said, oh my God.
Very reckless, not a care in the world, and he's stalking a guy, firing an AK-47 round.
It happened at 4 in the afternoon in a busy part of DeKalb.
There's witnesses everywhere, and like I said, we need those people to come forward and make this community a safer place.
Detectives are looking for the gunman, too. They say he may have changed his look.
I believe that he cut his hair off to try to disguise himself.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I never think I want to see when somebody killed.
The witness told me she can't stop thinking about it. She had seen the victim and his family around the area in the days leading up to the shooting.
I see his brother crying about the body. And I said, that's your brother? He said, yes. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry about that.
If you witnessed this crime, police need you to call immediately. In DeKalb County, outside of police headquarters, Liz Arts, Channel 2 Action News.
Hey, man. This is bad, man. But that's the Lord, man. This is Matthew 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what's going on, man. But it's the Lord that's doing it, man. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, meaning dangerous times. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 28. It reads, and even as they did not like to retain power in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, whom knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. They know it's wrong and they still do it, man. But this is the world that we live in, man. Why? When you read Isaiah 24, it tell you that as a matter of fact, let's read that. Isaiah 24. This is why these things is so. This is why you can do what you want to do, man. Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So these devils done created their own laws, man. In them with a bunch of wickedness going on in the earth. But you know what? A judgment is from Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. This is 2 Chronicles, chapter 15 and verse 12. And they enter into a covenant to seek the Lord Yahweh, power of their fathers, with all their heart and with all their soul. Only 1/3 is going to do this, man. Verse 13, that whosoever should not seek the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. And it's going to get worse, man. It's going to get worse. We ain't seen nothing yet. This Hosea 4 and 6. You know why these people is dying grievous deaths? Their parents ain't teaching them. This Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. So if your kids is your glory, and you living wickedly, and you not telling them to follow the ways of Yahweh Shema Shah, your glory gonna be turned into your shame, man. Point blank, period. This is 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, there shall be a confusion also in many places, which it is, and we in Babylon the Great, the city of confusion. And around the world, man. Why? Because they have changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant, man. So the planet, the whole entire planet is in confusion, man. Why? Because of the Job 9 and 24s. 2 Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again. And fires always come out again and again. When you see California, Greece was on fire, Netherlands was on fire, Norway was on fire. California always burning, man. It said again, and the fire shall be often sent out again. And we see that all the time, man. And the wild beasts shall change their places. Now you see black bears, all the people garbage cans. Why? Because this deforestation, man. The devil cutting down all the trees, so the animals is in different places now. It say, again, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out, and the wild beasts shall change their places. And you see that everywhere, man. They just showed a gator was walking in open space. They just showed a big wolf was walking in open space, running next to a car. These animals is in different. The wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrels women shall bring forth monsters, man. These young guys, these young killers out here, man, they just a bunch of little monsters, man. I call them GMO babies, man. A bunch of GMO babies out here running rampant everywhere, man. She bugged out with this blonde hair in her head, man. But you know what? Let's get this. This is Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 20. It reads, yeah, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, O ye women, and let your ear receive the word of his mouth, and teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbor lamentation. For death is come up into our windows, and is entered into our palaces, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. And that's what's going on, man. The Lord say, verse 23, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glory in this, that he understand and know me, that I am the Lord Yahweh, which executeth loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord Yahweh. Lord, witness edifying, I gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel. And the sincere salutation to all the ark, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth. Lord, witness edifying. Till next time I say Shalom, Wa, Abba, Babal. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. Shalom.